something I just read in history class. It is also something deeply personal because of my family story. My great-grandfather, Vasil, was only 16 years old when he joined the Partisan Brigade in Belarus during World War II. At 15, I was worried about my grades, sports, and what I'll do when I grow up. At 16, he was worried about survival, freedom, and fighting an enemy that had invaded his home. I never got to meet him, but I grew up with the stories. My mom remembers walking beside him in parades and gatherings when she was just a child. As the years went by, his stories changed. At first, when his grandchildren were little, he told them adventurous tales, almost like legends. But as they grew older, the stories became heavier and more tragic. He spoke of comrades who didn't return, and of the terrible choices that war forces people to make. He told how, as a teenager, he had to place mines on railroad tracks to blow up supply trains headed to the Nazi army. He also went on dangerous missions with other partisans, including capturing a German soldier alive so they could get information about enemy's plans. The chief of his partisan brigade was assassinated after the war, hanged on a tree in a public park, most likely by the families of young men, partisans who had been executed by him for not following orders. In the partisans, the rules of war were nothing like civilian life. They were incomprehensible for people living in peacetime. My great-grandfather himself came close to death when a bullet tore his shoulder, missing his heart, but leaving him without the use of his left arm for the rest of his life. He survived, but he carried that wound forever. Because of his injury, he could not continue working as a farmer like many others in his village. He had to find a new path. After the war, he married a school teacher, my great-grandmother, Valentina, whom I met. He went to build a family, raised 3 children, and lived to see 7 grandchildren. His life remains that veterans are not only defined by the battles they fought, but they're also built after and what they build afterwards. Families, communities, and futures for the next generation. This is what I see in American veterans too. Many of you here today were just as young as my great-grandfather when he first wore a uniform. Some of you went to Vietnam, World War II, and others went to more recent wars. All of you carrying the weight of duty on your shoulders. You returned home and continued living, working, and raising families, even though memories of war never truly leave. So what does it mean to be a veteran? It means courage in the face of fear, sacrifice in a place of comfort, and devotion to something greater than itself. It means leaving behind stories that will guide future generations the way that my great-grandfather's stories guide me. To me, veterans are a reminder that freedom is earned by people like you, and people like Vasil, who gave me so much so that others can live in peace. Who gave so much so others can live in peace. And for that, I say thank you.
Yeah.
I never met my great-grandfather Vasil, but through his story and through yours, I have learned what it truly means to be a veteran. On behalf of my generation, I thank you for your sacrifice, your service, and your example.
Patriotism is more than waving a flag or reciting a pledge. To me, it's about respect, service, and carrying forward tradition that honors those that came before us. As a member of the U.S. Navy Secret Corps, I have found a meaningful way to demonstrate my love for our country through discipline, community service, and ceremonial duties that remind others and myself of the values that we stand for. One of the most powerful experiences that I have is participating in wreath-laying ceremonies. Standing at attention while honoring fallen service members has taught me patriotism is not an abstract. It's deeply personal. Each wreath represents a life given for our freedom. When I help place those wreaths, I am reminded that my generation has a responsibility to preserve the sacrifices of those who came before us. The ceremony is quiet and solemn, but it speaks louder than words. It's a way of saying we remember, we honor, and we are grateful. Another way that I show support to our country is by serving parts of the color guard. Carrying the American flag is not just a task, it's a responsibility. Every time I march in a parade or present the colors at a ceremony, I know that people are watching, not just me, but what I represent. I was lucky enough to be a part of the color guard detail for the Navy Ball, surrounded by active and retired military personnel. I truly saw what the flag I carry symbolizes to them: unity, freedom, and resilience. But being trusted to carry is one of the highest honors I could receive as a cadet. Through the color guard, I have learned the importance of precision, respect, and pride in representing our nation. Beyond ceremonies, being a Sea Cadet has shaped my everyday understanding of patriotism. We are trained in military customs, leadership, and teamwork, which instill discipline and respect for our armed forces. Wearing the uniform reminds me that I'm a part of something bigger than myself, a tradition of service and commitment to our country. My training has taught me that patriotism is not more than just honoring the past, but also preparing to contribute in the future. Whether that means supporting veterans, participating in community events, or one day serving in the military, my role as a cadet is preparing me to live with a purpose and responsibility. For me, patriotism is lived out in uniform, in quiet ceremonies, in saluting to the flag, and in the discipline I carry with me every day. It is lived out in honoring the fallen, representing the nation with pride, and committing myself to the values that serve others. Through everyday service, I have learned that patriotism is not just about what we feel, it's about what we do. And every time I put on the uniform, carry the flag, or bow my head in remembrance, I know I am doing my part in supporting.
Being a U.S. military veteran means that you embody the principles of honor, courage, commitment, service, and sacrifice. Being a veteran means that you were willing to fight and die for this great country. Being a veteran meant giving up control of your life to others and having to trust your well-being to them. It meant risking life or limb in all that you did. Veterans are the bravest men and women in our country who laid down their lives to protect the very American liberties that we all enjoy today. Their love of country goes to a depth most people can't even reach. Veterans chose to put their lives on the line to defend our nation, its people, its values, and our freedom. Their selfless commitment and fearless sacrifice involved rigorous training, emotional deployments away from family and friends lasting months to years, and living in never-ending and unknown threat and danger. Regardless of how grueling this all sounds, when there was a call to duty, our courageous veterans answered that call to serve, to protect our great country. Many of our veterans have amazing stories to tell, some of them even heartwarming and funny, but many carry the memories and scars of battle, both visible and invisible. Our veterans show unrelenting courage to keep moving forward no matter how hard their life has become. This kind of determination and fighting spirit is second to none. Our veterans never give up nor give in. They show their greatness even in the face of pain, loneliness, and suffering. Our veterans are the epitome of patriotism, resilience, and self-sacrifice. Even in the face of adversity and hardships, veterans bring a wealth of skill and experience to the civilian world as they journey on through life. They possess strong leadership abilities, discipline, and a sense of duty that is admired, respected, and appreciated in all areas of civilian life. Our country has a responsibility to support and honor our veterans for their services and sacrifice. Their voice must be heard louder than ever. Whether it be advocating for access to healthcare, housing, benefits, or jobs, our veterans need more help and support. This also includes recognizing and valuing their contributions that veterans make to their communities. With over 17.9 million veterans in America, it is of crucial importance that we step up as a country to serve our veterans' needs. And in the end, Americans owe an everlasting debt to our veterans.
left, right.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
SpongeBob SquarePants!
Absorbent in yellow and forest is he?
SpongeBob SquarePants!
When nautical not something you wish.
SpongeBob SquarePants!